YouTube, what's going on? I'm gonna do a quick video. I'm gonna try to see if I can manage changing out these springs. I got two Noram star clutches. It's a 1-inch bore, and these are 16 tooth. Both of them are. I already got the springs changed out in one, and it is not an easy task. The right side springs, the red ones, are 2500 stall speed engagement. That's what they come factory as. And the blue side, or the left side, the blue springs are 3100 RPM engagement stall speed. So I'm gonna see if I can do a video on how hard it is to change them out. Only thing I found on YouTube is Paul's Kart, where he was changing them on his, and it's not an easy task, like I said. So I'm gonna see if I can get some coverage on this. Okay, so just to give a demonstration on how much easier the red springs are to work with than the blue springs, I'm gonna pop this one out right here and put it right back in. It takes like 5 seconds. I'll show you how much lighter these springs are. Please excuse the background noise. My wife is cooking. She will be giving me a hand here in a second, because those blue springs are really hard. You'll see me struggling with those, so you do need an extra set of hands. I'm not saying it's impossible to do by yourself, but it's a lot easier. Alright, I will say too, if you don't have experience doing stuff like this, be careful. These springs can pop out, hit you in the eye, or whatever. So just be careful. So I got my flat tip screwdriver here. What you want to do is get right up under where the spring goes into the hole at. Give it a little twist and then pry back. Just like that, and the spring is out, okay? You can see right here, it's loose, it's not in the hole. Alright, Phillips screwdriver. They're probably better tools to use to do this, but it's a lot easy. It's really easy with the, let's see if it's gonna focus here, but this screwdriver has a nice pointed tip on it where you can kind of get it started in that hole, and then all you want to do is pry it over. Let's see. Just start the tip of the screwdriver in the hole just a little bit. Try to get it where you can see it here. Pry it over. Uh-oh, hold on. Technical difficulties. And it pops right back in the hole, just like that, okay? Super easy. Way easier than the blue springs. Alright, blue springs coming up next. I'm gonna need another set of hands. Okay, so I got my red spring out, and I got the blue one prepared to go in. I'm not going to put it in quite yet. I just wanted to show you the difference in the thickness of these red springs and the blue springs. Alright, so they have the same amount of wraps in each spring, and they're orientated the same way as far as the hooks go and everything. But just look at the thickness difference in the wire that it's made of. Okay, so you got thin, thick. You can tell the difference in them. Let's see here. See the difference in how thick that one is, and if I can get a little bit better. Let's see. Yeah, that's about the best I'm gonna get with this phone. But you can literally see the difference in the thickness and why they have different tension ratings, and change the engagement RPM. Let me get this other one over here so you can see. Trying not to scar my kitchen table up here. So red, blue, and fat boys in there. Alright, so I'm ready to try to get this first one in. I got my helper over here. It's always good to have a helping hand sometimes. And we're going to try to get this thing going. So let's see if I can get my screwdriver in here the right way. And see what happens. Okay, you ready? Well, I'm gonna try it by myself first and see what happens, and we'll go from there. It's hard. Not gonna work that way. Try something helps. I'll try it from the other way, going towards me. Yeah, see? It's a lot harder. I don't know if they make some kind of tool, like a spring installer or something, or some kind of like a fixture to hold the clutch in place, but this is not a fun job. Yeah, see, it's hard. I know you can't see what I'm doing either, but it's hard. Okay, so I figured out something. I didn't figure this out last time when I did the first clutch. I just struggled all the way through it. So I got my red springs off to where you can remove the shoes. They only go on one way as far as I know. You can't put them in backwards because it has a certain kind of curve to it. It won't go on the other way. So what I did, you hook the spring onto one shoe. And this won't work for all three, it's just two of them. Hook the spring onto one shoe. Take the other shoe off to the side like this. So you want to kind of make like almost like a T with the shoes like this. You hook it in there, excuse me, with the shoe off of the hub. So you hook it in like this. Like I said, you make your T here, put them perpendicular. And then you are able to use the shoe as leverage. You pry up like that and get it inside the hub. And then you line up right here, hold up, and you just push it back, and it goes on. See how that goes? I'm gonna do it again. So, push that down. So, spring, hook it in there. Other shoe is gonna go, let me flip it, so like that. It's the only way it goes. So you wanna turn it sideways. Turn it perpendicular. Like this way. Let me get it right. Okay, other way. Anyway, you have to turn it to get it to go right. So, so you don't want to turn it that way. It's just this way. There we go. So it's only one side. If you turn it this way, you'll install it upside down. So you turn it towards you and hook it in right here. So there's my hook. Turn it this way. Hook it in the hole like that. And you pry it over. It's gonna sit up like that. And then you just kind of push it over into its groove. Now you got one spring left. I didn't figure that out last time. Now this is where the struggle happens. So I think I'm gonna just practice a little bit, and then once I get it, I'll let y'all see. Alright, y'all, so I actually got it in a couple times without having my hold on, my extra set of hands. So I'm gonna see if I can do it again for the camera. The trick is, so I got my other two springs in. This one right here is the last one. The trick is, you don't want to have your screwdriver too deep in the hole to the point where it's obviously blocking the spring from going in. You want to have it right on the corner of the hole, have the point right in the corner of the hole, and have enough down pressure to where it won't slip out of the hole. You got to push down and then pry the spring back and try to slide it down the shaft of the screwdriver. She got burnt. Pry it back and slide it down in the hole, and it'll most likely just grab on the edge but not be all the way hooked in, and then you just take the back side of your screwdriver, the handle, and knock it down into the rest of the hole. It is pretty difficult. It's going to take you a lot of tries, but now I know it can be done by yourself at the kitchen table. So again, don't have your screwdriver too deep in the hole where it's actually blocking the spring from getting in there. the best thing, if you had like an old screwdriver, probably a little bit longer tip, not super long, because the further you get away, the less control you have at the end of it. But probably a little bit longer than this, and put it to a grinder and taper down the end of it to a smooth point, and not where it's an actual screwdriver. Smooth out the end of it to a point. It'd probably be a little bit easier. But anyway, it's working for me, so here's what I kind of wish you could see a little bit better what I'm doing. Let me see if I can get a little closer. This one I'm working with, this one right here. Okay, so you probably still won't be able to see, but I'm going to try. Alright, here we go. So, get that right in the edge of that hole right there, and just pry it back. It's going to take a couple tries. Here we go. Wow. Okay. Come on now. Gotta talk to it. Oh, it's hard. I know you can't see anything, but you get the concept. Basically what's happening right now is the tip of the screwdriver is just slipping out, that's all. I'm not pushing down hard enough. Now watch, just because I got the camera going, I won't be able to do it by myself. Get in there. Come on. Alright, there we go. Take it out. Okay, so if you can see, try not to get my eye blown out here. It is, where are we at? Oh, this one. Okay, so it is barely in there. Right here. You can see it doesn't go all the way through the hole yet, but it's in there. So all I'm gonna do, put that back up here, take the end of my screwdriver, heard it push down. Now all of my springs are locked all the way in the holes. See that? All the way around. My springs are locked in. So now I got both my clutches. Both of my clutches got the springs swapped out in there. Like I said, it's so hard because this blue spring is just so much bigger. It's just so much bigger than that red spring. So much more power to it. You know, it's not fun. But once you get it done, it's done. And hopefully you don't have to do a whole bunch of tuning and spring changing and stuff like that. So there you go. Full video on changing your stall springs and your Noram star clutch. Hopefully this works out good for my project. I will be making another video to show the stall speed and the engagement of the clutch, how well it locks in, if it heats up at all, or pretty much an all-around video of the project. So I'm not gonna say what the project is yet, but as you can see, I got 2 Noram star clutches. So y'all have a good one. Like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what y'all think on my method of doing this. Peace. Alright, so there you have it. My 2 16-tooth Noram star clutches. Blue springs installed. All done. Struggle is over with that part at least. Like I said, 16 to 3100 RPM stall speed. One thing I do want to note, this is the one with the funny key. So you want to have the fat part of the key obviously in the hub itself, where it goes through the hub and the crankshaft. And then the small part of the key, you want it to be in the crankshaft, because all that little half, I don't have it with me here right now, but the small part of the key, it just supports these needle bearings right here, because you don't want your needle bearings running on your shaft, running across that keyway. So that small part of the key is just to smooth out those needle bearings rolling across that keyway. It's a bridge, basically a bridge to go across that keyway. And then when you install this, you want your snap ring here to be facing, if you were putting it on the engine, facing the inboard of the engine, and then the part without the snap ring to be facing out. If you were putting on like a jack shaft or something like that, and you're not installing it on the engine, you want to basically put this to where the part without the snap ring will be rotating counter, if you're looking at it from this orientation, counterclockwise. If you install it this way with the snap ring out and it's turning counterclockwise, it's going to be going backwards. So if you install it this way with the snap ring out, it needs to be turning clockwise, looking at it that way. So I hope I didn't make that too confusing, but if you can just think about it, no matter what you're putting it on, whether it's an engine or a jack shaft or whatever, try to think about it as if you're putting it on the engine, because you know which way an engine spins. You want the snap ring to be away from you, turning counterclockwise. Okay? Kudos. Have a good one, y'all.